can't touch this.
By nature, what you might call passive aggressive. That's how I always grew up. That's how I was during a lot of my adult years. When I started, after I left teaching and I started training, it was actually then when I started reading this kind of stuff and I was like, wow, you mean if she says something mean to me and I don't say something mean back, then it's okay? I can still look okay in front of people? I don't have to yell at her? So I want us to think of how we want to act. The last one, an emotionally mature person uses language that indicates that I accept and I appreciate you and your experiences in the world, because you have had completely different experiences than me. I have a story, right? Mental hospital, years of torture and trauma and all those things. Raise your hand if you too have a story. It doesn't have to be horrible. Raise your hand if you have a story. Everybody in here has a story. And you work. You know what really we do? We work with other people's stories because they carry them around with them. And the fun thing for me is I have probably been in 100 kitchens in maybe 12 states. I have seen so many things, plus my years as a teacher. So I've been somewhat in your world. But I thought it would be fun to do a top 10, you work in child nutrition if. So where are my volunteers? And I want you all to applaud them up on stage. You all can take bows as you walk up. Come up this way. So you've got parents, you've got the government, you've got teachers, you've got everybody. Where's number 2? This is my favorite. Say it loud.
Sausage counts as a grain.
It says so right there. It says so. In what other world does sausage count as a grain? All right, and our number 1 way to know you work in child nutrition. Where's our number 1? A hungry child cannot learn. Applause for that. I really do feel passionate about you and your profession, and there are several reasons why. You all create memories. This is a friend of mine and her grandson. She goes and has lunch with him. And it's a big deal when these grandparents and parents get to go see their kids at school. And you create that. You create those memories. Laughter that makes us think. Laughter that makes us connect things in our mind. Makes us smarter, more creative, more intuitive, more decisive. It will help you be that emotionally mature person. So I'm going to read this. Remember, I told you I've struggled with self-esteem issues in the past, so your job is to laugh even if you don't think it's funny. You are the first group that I have read this particular story to. So just laugh. Okay, remember you raised your hand? All right, so here we go. A man is walking home alone late one foggy night when behind him he hears bump, bump, bump. Walking faster, he looks back, and through the fog he makes out the image of an upright casket banging its way down the middle of the street toward him. Bump, bump, bump. Terrified, the man begins to run toward his home, and the casket quickly bouncing behind him. Faster, 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 bump, 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 bump. He runs up to his door, fumbles with his keys, opens the door, rushes in, slams and locks the door behind him. However, the casket crashes through his door with the lid clap, 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 bump, 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 clap. He's terrified. He runs. He rushes upstairs to the bathroom and locks himself in. His heart is pounding. His head is reeling. His breath is coming in sobbing gasps. With a loud crash, the casket breaks down the door. Bumping and clapping toward him, the man screams and reaches for something, anything, but all he can find is a bottle of cough syrup. Desperately, he throws the cough syrup at the casket, and the coffin stops.